Hi, my name is Mateo Colson, and today I will be presenting my Christianity Made Concrete project for Creed Community Call with Mr. Creech. So let's begin. Bellarmine should dedicate a week to constructing shelters for homeless populations. So, before I get into the weeds of what I'm going to talk about, I first want to give you a little background on just about homeless in general and kind of this program in general too. It's kind of inspired from something else. So, as many of you may know, Bellarmine is surrounded by many homeless encampments, particularly by the airport. The people here have little food, water, shelter, and clothes. In fact, according to Statista, Santa Clara County has about 10,000 homeless people. Which means that thousands have little shelter, face malnourishment, and have poor, worn-out clothing. Bellarmine, my proposal for dedicating a week for local homeless populations is actually inspired by something Bellarmine kind of already does. Bellarmine already has an immersion program in Mexico where they literally build a foundation for the future for 4 to 5 families living in Tijuana. That quote is excerpted from the BCP website. And I'm proposing a similar program for the Bellarmine students right here at home in San Jose. So, to get more into the weeds of what I'm proposing, here's my policy action proposal. I am proposing that Bellarmine have an event held 1 week a year where the Bellarmine students gather at the Bellarmine campus or at a nearby field in San Jose to build small houses or shelters for the homeless to use. This policy, like I said, would be similar to what students do at the Tijuana service immersion trip on spring and Thanksgiving break, where they literally build a foundation for the future for 4 to 5 families living in Tijuana. So, to show you in detail how I plan to implement this, here's what's up. Steps for implementation. Number 1, gather funds from the endowment, tuitions, as well as from donations. 2, buy a lot of supplies from hardware stores such as Home Depot, making sure that there's enough wood and tools to go around all of Bellarmine. 3, split the students into groups with a coach and their equipment. 4, after the houses/shelters are built, bring them to areas filled with homeless populations such as the ones near the airport, if they're not already there, of course. 5, clean up the mess and prepare for a regular school schedule in the upcoming week. And 6 is pretty straightforward. Repeat the same process next year. So yeah, those are my steps for implementation. So, how I'm going to justify this action is the suffering servant phrase used to define Jesus. So basically, the definition of suffering servant is that Jesus suffered for the sins of humanity for the greater good of us. So basically, the definition of the suffering servant is that Jesus suffered for the sins of humans in order to positively benefit society. And I'm going to relate that definition to this action. So how does it relate to the constructing foundations for the homeless program? Well, even if one would rather be at home playing video games, watching movies, or doing homework, this program still benefits society by using the manpower of this all-boys school to allow the students to do something bigger than themselves, that allows them to make the lives of the unfortunate become easier, that allows them to just, make San Jose better and happier and just a safer place for all people who want to live in Silicon Valley and not have to deal with extreme weather conditions and heat problems and cold problems and whatnot. So why does this matter? Well, I'm going to build on what I said before. It builds character. Getting up every day for 1 week to build a house teaches one hard work, perseverance, and respect for others. It also reminds people to be grateful for their own life, and as they realize that it could be so much worse. And acting like a suffering servant with this project allows many to practice making sacrifices in order to achieve a greater goal. I'm going to be honest, sometimes I have trouble making sacrifices when I'm trying to achieve a goal because I'm just so in my bubble and I don't want to leave it. So for other people like me, this action could help us, get thrown out of that bubble. My second justification is Emmanuel, God with us. So basically the definition of Emmanuel is that it emphasizes the human identity of Jesus. So this is meant to show that God is always present with us. This means that Catholics should strive to exemplify the messages God teaches us and treat each other as if they were Jesus. So how does the Emmanuel quality apply to this? Why does it matter? Well, the reminder that we are not abandoned by God reminds us that something will always come along to make things better. And maybe we can be that something that makes things better by helping by building houses for others. Maybe we are called to help others because other people are just as worthy as we are of having a happy experience with the life God has gifted them. All people are children of God and therefore deserve love. So the Emmanuel aspect helps us to better recognize that by, again, treating them as if they were Jesus. Also, as students get to see the homeless people while they build, they can begin to see that these people aren't the savages or lazy people society has a stereotype of making them seem like. But it allows them to instead see that these unlucky people are just that, unlucky people who just need some extra help in life and have made a bad decision here and there. It allows us as Catholics or Christians or whatnot to see that these people, that these children of God are just as worthy of love and compassion as they are, or as others are. So let's address some of the issues for this. Now, obviously, having all of Bellarmine dedicate 1 week a year to building houses, so obviously this project of where Bellarmine dedicates a week a year to building houses seems very, very, ambitious. And yeah, it's going to be kind of costly. It's going to I estimate this could cost approximately $5 million a year. Although I do think that's a pretty liberal estimate. It might cost less. Now, this may sound like a lot, but keep in mind that Bellarmine rakes in about $40 million from the students' tuitions in 1 year alone. And on top of that, the school's endowment of $119 million overshadows the program's value even more, as it shows. Because, obviously, $119 million with $40 million per year is bigger than $5 million per year. And so it's basically just pocket money for this high school's budget. So in the grand scheme of things, the program doesn't cost that much. And at the end of the day, we need to recognize that we're making lives better, that we're making and at the end of the day, we need to remember that that this program is just trying to make the lives of the unfortunate a lot better for them, so that they can live happier and healthier lives. And yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching.